a new video called What I Eat in a Day. It's a vegan series. In this video, I made a Chinese bok choy dumpling. It's a vegetarian dumpling. It looks like a Chinese bok choy, the green color on top and the white color on bottom. And if you are interested in how to make this bok choy dumplings, please check out the following video. For the dumpling filling, we will need about a quarter of Chinese cabbage. And just clean them and use boiling water to cook our cabbage. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes until our cabbage is getting softened. And the root part of the cabbage is a bit harder to cook, so we have to make sure it's softened first. So here we can take our cooked cabbage, see this one, and we're trying to squeeze out the water and just take a few pieces. They're still pretty hot, so be careful. Then we're going to cut them to like a mince, so as small as possible, I would say. Cut them smaller. And we just keep chopping it until they are getting really fine. But we still want to see some pieces inside, so not really like making like a smoothie or something. So use a knife is better than using a blender, because you can control better the size of the cabbages. You can see it contains lots of water. So we have to squeeze this out and put it in the bowl, and I'm just going to continue doing that until we finish all our cabbage. Here you can see we cut all our Chinese cabbages and squeeze out all the liquid. I still have some other ingredients we need to cut to mince. So soak our black fungus in hot water. And I took about 10 of them, and those mushrooms, squeeze all the liquids out and cut them to small pieces and mix with our Chinese cabbages. Squeeze out all the liquid. So here we want to remove this. The next one is our glass noodle, and you have to soften this with water first. So see, they're really soft now, and then we're going to cut them to bite sizes as well and mix them into our rest of the mix. That's about enough. So I like to have a bit more texture of our glass noodle, but it's also up to you. So here we have our glass noodle, mushrooms, kitake mushrooms, cabbages, and our last ingredients for our filling is smoked tofu. And I already cut them to smaller pieces. Here is about 100 grams of tofu, and then we just mix them completely. If you like, you can also add in fried eggs. So you're making an egg sheet and cut them to smaller sizes and put in. You can also put in dry shrimps, but those are both non-vegan ingredients. So here I'm just going to skip both of them. So for this recipe we will need a bit of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, So mix them well. Here I have about 160 grams of spinach and washed and cleaned. We're going to use this 160 grams of spinach natural green coloring to color our dumpling dough. Here is the blended spinach, really green, dark green color, and we use the strainer. Here you can see our spinach is probably 90% dry. Still can squeeze out some juice. I'll continue doing that. But you can see our spinach juice underneath. A beautiful green color, and we're going to use this to dye our dumpling dough. So here we need to measure 200 grams of flour. Then we need to add in about 100 grams of water. Going to mix this to a dough. We're going to continue kneading this dough until it's smooth. Now we can set this dough aside and make our spinach dough. So we will need to measure also 200 grams of flour. Again, we need 100 grams of water. Here we put in our spinach juice first. So still missing about 10 grams. I'm just adding a bit more water. Okay. Now we can knead our spinach dough. So just like our regular dumpling doughs, we're going to knead our spinach dough until it's smooth. Okay. Now we have two dough here. One of white dough, one spinach dough, and we're going to let it rest for at least 20 minutes. Let's have a look of the dough. So trying to have the same amount. Let's say 300 each. Okay, 300. Okay, that's about enough. Both are 300. Then I'm just kneading this dough again. Just make it smooth, so it's not gonna stick later. So for this white dough, we want to make it like a stick. Set it aside. Then here is our green dough. For this green dough, what we want is to make it flat. Now we're going to roll it. The trick here is to get this evenly and put in our white dough. And we're going to close it on the top. So, like this. Almost like give it a blanket around. Now we can roll it again. Then we're going to cut our front away. Okay. And here you can see that's how it looks like. I got the chopping board in case I'm cutting my pad here. Okay, we just cut the size, make it like this much. Okay, and let's see how heavy this is. 20. Okay, so we're going to cut all our dough like a 20. Great, and then we give it a bit of flour here, and we press it. Let's do the other ones. Or about same length. Now I just cut all our dough, then we can make our skin. Now we're just trying to form it like a ball, round at least, and then we press it. Okay, so we're gonna do all of them. Now we have almost our doughs pressed and ready. Then we can try to roll them and keep them under a foil. Or here, just put a kitchen towel to cover it so they're not gonna get dry. Try here. Or we want to do is make it bigger. So my mom would say you hold it and you roll it while turn it. All you want is in the middle a bit thicker and outside a bit thinner. And here you can see our filling. So we want to put in generous amount of filling, but not too much. Because when you put in too much, your dumpling is not going to seal properly. Put all our filling inside because it doesn't have any meat inside, so our filling is a bit loose. And this kind of filling is a bit hard, difficult to make. And then for this kind of dumplings, there are so many ways to make. And all I want to do is a simple way, so we close it. All sides with our thumb and our index finger. We press it. Okay, we will need a bit of flour on our hands. But here you can see, or you can make a bit of wrinkles around the side, like these. So these are also good because then they look like naturally grown bok choys, and we're going to fry them because my husband likes to eat fried dumplings. Usually you can also just cook them in boiling water. Once it's cooked again, put in a bit of cold water and bring it to boil again. Once all your dumplings are floating, means they're cooked. But here I'm going to deep fry it, so which is better way, because when you fry it, your dumplings are not going to break. And here you can see I made all my dumplings. They really look like Chinese bok choys, and it's really 100% vegan dumplings. Now we're going to pan fry them. So we turn our stove on medium-low heat. You need a non-stick pan like this one, and just put in our dumplings. Put some vegetable oil in here so we can pan fry them. So you want to wait until our bottom part of the dumpling is cooked, so golden brown. The lower heat, then we put a bit of water in, but be careful. It could splash, so use a lid to cover it. And the steam is going to cook our dumplings. So we let it cook for another 2 to 3 minutes. Now we can have a look at our dumplings. Now you can see there the top is kind of transparent, almost a bit transparent. When they are done, then we can take them out. Have a look at our dumplings. And they are still in shape. So I'm going to continue to make my rest dumplings. I still have some leftover filling, so today I'm going to make a Chinese local dish with the same kind of filling but a different dough. In Chinese called霍子. Maybe because it's a local dish, it's from my area. So here we're going to need 400 grams of flour. You put about 200 grams of warm water because we don't want a meshy dough, and different flour has a different ability to absorb water. So we're just going to knead it bit by bit until it's forming a dough. At the beginning, we're just adding a bit of water. It's not really looking like a dough yet, but this is the first consistency we want. Once you have this, you can add in a bit more water. Then we can transfer our dough to the table, and then it's easier to knead it, and we want to continue knead this dough until it's smooth. And after our dough is prepared, then we can set it aside and let it rest for 20 to 30 minutes. This process relaxes our dough, and then it tastes better later when we are deep frying it. Now our dough is ready. We can take it out and we roll it to a stick. Okay, now it's shaped like a baguette or smaller baguette. And we're going to cut this to smaller dough, about 50 grams each. So here it's about enough. Then we can make the rest. Cutting all our dough to even amount. Now we have all our dough ready. I'm going to demonstrate how you can make the skin for our霍子. So we make like a ball. So first we make it flat, so it's roughly a round shape. Then we can roll it from the side. We just go in, roll it out. So we want an even shape, roughly even shape. When you are rolling it, you kind of also stretching it to make it even. So we want this about the size of my palm, and you can see in the middle it's a bit thicker, and out around it it's a bit thinner. So we're going to use this to make our big dumplings. So you can see here is all the leftover dumpling fillings, and I made all the skins for this dish. Here is one. So now we have to make a 包子 shape, so it's like a steamed dumpling shape out of this. So we take generous amount. So this should be a lot more than the amount you put in the dumpling, but we don't want to put it too much, otherwise it will break. So we're just trying to close it. So if you put in too much filling, you can just remove it while you are making it. So you kind of pull the skin all together, and on the top you close it. So normally this will be a 包子. You can steam it, and we make it round and then press it a bit. And here is one. We're going to fry this from this side first, and the other side it's just smooth and nice and round. So I'm going to continue make the rest. The last one I made, it's about 1/2 tablespoon of fillings. All my skin have almost the same size, so you can calculate it how much you will need. Here the second one. Check out the other side. Good, and then we continue. Now we're going to deep fry all our dumplings. Here is one. So we use a non-stick pan and then put in enough of vegetable oil or sunflower oil. Can put in a bit more than usual because the dough would absorb lots of the oil. Okay. Or if you want it to be healthier, you can fry it without oil. So once our pot is hot, we can just put in all our dumplings. There's closing side on the bottom, so we know they are sealed. So leave our heat on medium low, and we're going to fry this slowly, pressing them a bit flatter, so keeping them the round shape. It also helps our dumpling to seal. Okay, here is one. We're just flipping them. Once both sides are golden brown, then we can take them out. Our deep fried 霍子 or dumpling, or whatever you call it. And then here they are both golden brown. Then I can cut it open so you can see better. The skin's really crunchy, crispy, and the inside it's filled with our vegetarian fillings. Okay, where's that come from? Okay, yay! My dumplings finished deep fried, and we're going to let my hubby to demonstrate how to eat it with lots of vinegar. The camera is setting too low. Okay.
So you just take one. Very crispy. Put it in. Not too less.
Is it good?
Really good. Two different sides.
It just didn't mix properly.
Are you nice? Yes. Very different than the dumplings.
Thicker
skin.
Crunchier.
Oh, you're vegan.
Healthy. So if you like this recipe, please give me a thumbs up and leave your comments below. If you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out my what I eat in a day video. Thanks. See ya.
See ya.